I realized that I never talk about my beginnings when I was miserable and like I was starting my side hustle, I was starting the branding on LinkedIn, like and all these kinds of things. And my bum, people usually don't see me like this, but like that was my life until I was like 30 or something like that. So then I decided, okay, I will put like my hair in the way how it should be. And that is the thing, like for the first, when I started like in 2022, like for the first 7 months, I didn't have like any of the clients. I was posting on LinkedIn every day. And I was also like thinking about like what is like professional, what is not. And basically like my leg here is not professional or something like that. But after 4 years on LinkedIn branding, having like ton of client and like making money with my business, I realized how these kinds of things are not important at all. So today I really want to talk about real stuff, like I will talk more about failures than like the success, because you're seeing just like one success, but you're not seeing like 10 failures that I have been doing constantly like in these 4 years. And I'm guarantee you like there are more failures than success is just like one success that you are seeing. So even I put together some lists, like what I have done, what I shouldn't done, that like if I had my mindset coach in the first land, who is the SEO, but definitely like my beginnings were definitely, I was working in the agency, great team, great boss, like I was really having all things good regarding the salary, regarding the flexibility. But honestly, I was feeling so miserable, like I was handling like clients, the SEO, like that is something that I really loved, but something was broken in me, like I really was constantly feeling so unhappy, so dissatisfied. I was constantly chasing some freedom, and I couldn't be fulfilled like with these agency clients, because definitely I had a different approach to these clients if I would have them on my own, like regarding the hours, how I would approach them, regarding the strategies, regarding the consultancy. So I really thought that like my best kind of a way is to try to get my own premium clients on the side. Until that time, until like 2022, I had some clients, but it was like everything cheap, like it was based on some projects. And like these clients haven't been something that I would really love to work like in the future, to have that stability. And even I had stability with my full time. I haven't been happy, like, and that was my kind of a signal like, hey, I really need to do something differently. And summer 2022, like it was my last burnout, like I was constantly working, but like burnout is more when you are burning your energy on something that is not fulfilling you, like, so that is like moment that I realized, okay, I really need to do something differently. So, like I hired my business coach. Not so many people know that like I borrowed 6,000 from my friend to actually pay my business coach and just like start working on this shit kind of like things. I didn't know it will be success, but for me in that time, feeling so miserable, I was like, I will at least try to know, like in the future, at least I try to do something for myself and like to feel that kind of fulfillment and happiness that I was chasing. And like usually people are chasing this after you are gaining some savings and like these kinds of things, after you are buying things and you're seeing that like, hey, this is not like what I'm working for. I really want to experience something new. So I started. So definitely I will go through the mistakes, what I wouldn't repeat. Back then I was writing my LinkedIn post for almost like 2 hours, like that is something that was constantly bothering me, because I'm still non-native English speaker. My English was very bad, especially writing. Can you imagine me? Like you can't imagine me, because people are seeing that I haven't been born like this, like with a confidence, with a being authentic. But like, no, I haven't been there. And I wish you were seeing me before, like I was like total embarrassment. But it's something that you really need to pass. so you can like go and like really work on your success. So like I'm always telling my clients, if you're feeling miserable and like you want to try, like that's the perfect, like those are the ideal clients, because other people are just like saying, complaining, but they are not doing anything, like and they shouldn't do maybe in the first place. But like if you're feeling miserable, if you still want to do something with your life and like change it, like that's the best way, because you will change it in one or other way, but you will find a way how to change it, how to get the clients, how to quit your job, like you are going to work on yourself. And then like there are 99 of the other people, SEOs, who are just like complaining. So at least like I was complaining, but I was like, okay, I will find a solution for my problem. And then I was trying like 10 different shit, like, and then one succeeded. So definitely I wouldn't write my LinkedIn posts like for 2 hours. But also I wouldn't, we didn't have like ChatGPT back then, but also I wouldn't write these things by ChatGPT again, because writing is really helping you to develop that business for yourself, like who you are, who is your ideal client. You can use ChatGPT for brainstorming, some ideas, but definitely by the writing, you are developing your mindset, your thinking, because, like even in the end of the day, if you get some potential calls with a ChatGPT writing, you will not be able to sell it. So writing is helping you to develop mindset, to develop confidence, to develop like communicational skills, to develop like all the skills that you really need once you go there and talk with your potential client. So definitely I wouldn't post on other platforms, because that is something that I did like in the beginning. I was posting on LinkedIn, I was creating my videos on YouTube, but also I was sharing like these kinds of things on Instagram, on Thread, and like I have no idea, like it was like newsletter, but it was so many different platforms, and I would be overwhelmed by all these platforms. So I just like chose like two platforms in the end. Okay, I will choose LinkedIn and I will choose the YouTube, because that is like the biggest outcome that I can get. For example, today is my clients, they want to go on other platforms, and I'm saying, if you have time and energy, just like go, but always be careful about your time and energy, and like put in the platform that is really producing the results. Like recently I had my client who is posting like the same video that she's creating on LinkedIn, she was posting on TikTok, and that she got a potential lead. Like we are trying to figure out how that will go. She has like sales goal like this week, but doesn't matter. Like if you have time and energy, post on other platforms, but always be careful about like these kinds of things. Definitely the reason I didn't have my first clients for the 7 months of the LinkedIn branding, I realized after what was that, but definitely that was because of the lack of the method for the LinkedIn posts that are really converting. Now I know that, but back then I didn't know that. So I was just like posting like so many different things, but like now I really see what is converting, and definitely I will create another post and like video about real method for converting LinkedIn posts. Like let me know if you would like to get that, but definitely we shouldn't write these SEO kind of posts. We really need to have desired result, pick the pain point of our clients, put our authority, put the value, and call them to come to the call. Like that is like a short version. Don't post as other SEOs just like talking about like this SEO terms things, like don't compare yourself to the others, because luckily I was in that mindset because I had my mindset coach and like these kinds of things to hold me accountable and like help me to get relief or like on these thoughts. But definitely the biggest mistake that I am seeing SEOs are doing are constantly comparing themselves, their post to the others. 99% of the SEOs are just like posting shit there, about the SEO, pretending that they are influencers or like SEO mentors. But if you are there for getting clients, you need totally different approach, like, so don't compare yourself with them. But I really mean that. Okay, what else? What else? Definitely, I would care less about one post, because definitely one post doesn't make a difference. The most important thing is consistency. Like that. Like every week that you are going to post 4 posts. It doesn't matter like the format. LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn post, webinar, LinkedIn event, any kind of thing. Short video, long video. Like doesn't matter. Like the most important is consistency. Like I get clients that were getting clients after like 3-4 months, or I was seeing like some people are just like giving up after like 5-6 months, but like they didn't do everything that is needed to be, and then like they are quitting. Like, so I'm always saying, like, if you are going to quit, like sometime, like this is not good for you, because the LinkedIn branding and gaining your high paying SEO clients via LinkedIn is a longer term. Like, and like the best beauty of this is like when you are working full time and you have that financial stability, and then you can work on like these kinds of things with a bigger relief. Definitely the one thing that I would put, back then, which I didn't, is putting the boundaries with my family and friends who were just like taking my time and energy, just like complaining about things. They haven't been like interested in me, and like they were just like kind of consuming me mentally so much, and I haven't been aware, and I didn't know how to put like the boundaries, and basically now what I'm doing with my clients, I'm putting at least like one boundary for the people around me who are not asking me, how are you? And these people, especially our family members, like they're just like talking, and they are not asking how we are, so basically that is like the first red flag. Like, if you are not asking me how I am, like I will not allow you to take so much time and energy from me, like these kinds of things. Even it seems it is not important, but like when you're starting to build your business on the side, when you're working full time, you have like personal life, partner, and like these kinds of things, like it's so much important, like where you are putting the energy, and like all the people are taking our energy, and we really need to put that boundary, like, hey, you are not going to take my energy because I have some passion that I need to work on. So definitely those are the kind of like lists. And definitely I wouldn't think as I did, like how these LinkedIn posts are important, like they're not important at all. So I really would like that I cared less, because I think that is something that was very exhausting me, like taking care about, like one particular post. Just like, so I'm always saying to my clients currently, just like, don't care too much about your post, create a post. We have the method for converting in my course, like in these kinds of things, but just like do it. So it's more important execution, and especially in the first 2 months when you are online and it's very hard to be visible, and you are thinking what everyone will say about you, but just like, it's definitely much more important to get started, execution, and then we are constantly to build that practice about the converting posts, converting clients via our LinkedIn posts. So also I will tell you like what I was very good, and I think that really helped me to just like in 2 years to quit my job, and have my own SEO clients on the side with a premium pricing. So I was ready for it. But that definitely, I was hyper focused. I was hyper focused on my business, on my branding, like that was kind of like my thing. First thing in the morning, I would start writing my LinkedIn posts. I was taking at least 30 minutes to think about my business, who is my target audience, who is my really target audience, and who is not. Because usually what I'm seeing, SEOs constantly talk with their worst clients, these people who are not paying you, who are not valuing SEO, who don't understand the SEO. If you're trying to convince these kinds of people, it's not going to work, And we constantly need to refigure that, reprogram our mindset to really talk with our ideal clients. And the most beautiful thing is that like you need just like 2-3 high paying SEO clients that are going to pay you 2 to 3K per month, and like you are done for the next few years until you are ready to scale the business and then go to 10K, 20K, and these kinds of things. So just think about your ideal clients, people who already get it. You don't need to explain, complain. You just need to talk with the people who already get it. And that is the hardest part. the hardest part, to talk with the people who already see the SEO value, who already see the value in working with us, because we are constantly talking and trying to explain to all people around us, and that is pattern that we are constantly trying to do with our parents, constantly trying to explain our value. When you are working with your ideal clients, you don't need to explain anything, especially your value, because people see that. And that is like the hardest part in this business, to just talk with the people who already get it. Okay, so definitely I was hyper focused. I'm hyper focused. When I want something, I'm doing and I'm taking no matter what, but I will achieve what I want. So that is kind of like my kind of like skill for the last 10, 15 years. So definitely, the biggest thing that I was also doing is I stopped working with the SEO clients that were paying me 200, 300, 500 euros per month, or like small projects. I was like, I'm finally, after 5 years, I'm finally not doing this small SEO project, family friend website, taking just like a quick look and like these kinds of things. I stopped, so it was hard, and like these kinds of things. But of course, again, I had my mindset coach, I had my business coach, I was like, they are leading me where I want. So what else? Another part was to really optimize my time and energy that I was spending on my full time, especially like the problems that we are constantly having on our full time, that needs to be reduced. It will never stop, but we really need to reduce. Of course, how we are doing this by managing our minds, by learning how to handle the stress, how to handle different conversations, how to improving our confidence, like these kinds of things. So we are kind of becoming another identity, the identity who is able to lead these high-paying SEO clients and find them. So that's the difference. Like why I'm not earning like millions, because I'm not that identity. I'm working on it, but that is like the process. So we constantly need to work on ourselves to be that identity who is ready for the direction where we want to go. So I definitely think those are my key points. Maybe I forgot something on that. Definitely the key points were premium pricing, like hyper focus. Every day I was working something on my business. I was posting a lot, maybe 5, 6 days per week, constantly, because I was practicing that skill. I was definitely not following what other SEOs are doing, because I know where I'm going, and it's totally different approach. I started working with the cheap clients and so on, and I was basically working on myself more than everything else. So I think I will stop here, I'm talking too much today. So, here you have a breakdown, what is working, what is not working. If you have any questions, if you want to work on the implementing all these things for yourself, you can let me know. Like there are group coaching programs for the consulting, improving the consulting skills, or if you are not ready for the final step, that you are gaining the confidence to start working on the high-paying SEO clients, you are everything, that you have everything that is needed. Now basically I became my own hero. What I needed back then, because my mindset coach, my business coach doesn't have the SEO knowledge, and that was my lack why I was waiting 7 months to start working with the clients. And basically I become what I needed the most back then. So those are the beauty when people are started working with me. They know that I have my SEO client currently, that I'm working and feeling and breathing the SEO, and then I have my coaching people. So that's the beauty. I'm one of you. And definitely if you want to start working on this, let me know. Or if you want to have like any questions, let me know. I'm here to support you in any way. That's it for today, and I will see you in the next